Hey everybody, if you're in here, go ahead and put your video on. You can keep yourself on mute. That's cool for just for all the background sounds that'll come through. I see Diana. Hello. Britt.
What's up?
Hey, little baby.
Yeah, he's gonna hang out with us. Sorry. I'll try to keep him quiet.
That's okay. Brittany, you can press the mute button too, and then we'll like call on people for different things.
Perfect. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If he gets fussy, I might press the mute button so it's not distracting to everyone.
Hey Kayla, hey Kiana, hello Nikki.
Morning.
Gallery view. Yeah, perfect. Hey Samantha. Are we wearing matching? Oh my gosh, it's like a polar vortex.
Yeah, it's so
This
cold.
is like I don't know, it's like a blanket jacket thing. It's from Costco. Oh, it's so cold. Hello, Abby. Hello, Danielle. Cool braids.
Thank you.
That's like incredible, actually, because that's not easy. I'm seeing, do I see Anson yet? Taylor, hello. Who am I waiting to see? Demi, Anson, and then we'll get started. Okay, hi, Demi. Hello, Anson. How's everybody doing? Thumbs up for having a good day? Good. All right. Well, I'm going to try to always start us off with something positive and inspirational. I just want to welcome everybody. I'm really thankful that we're able to get together for monthly meetings again. Someday, I think it'd be great if we can do it, safely, even though we all probably work together throughout the week, but to utilize the common area room again. We don't really have a definite need for that right now, but I had connected with Katie, who's now managing the office, and she is incredible. She has already let us use it for interviews. So Kayla and I met in there, and it was just nice to have that ability. So I don't know if she'd even be open to that, but someday that'd be great. Speaking of Kayla, can we all welcome Kayla to the team? Cool mask, by the way. I mean, not that we want to get used to saying cool masks, but that is a cool mask. All right, well, I'll just start us off with this video, and same as last time, we can just, once we watch the video, we can just raise hands and share the feedback that we have or just takeaways that we have, but I think this is really cool. It's sports heavy, but there's definitely some business aspects to it. So let me go ahead. Can you hear it?
One more item for you when you get a chance. We'd like it to stir up your cryo tanks.
How good can a team be? Seriously, how powerful is teamwork? Great teamwork. I mean, really ask that question. Who defines the limit? And what if we were to push that edge? Stop to think about this for a moment and realize that every team that accomplished the untouchable every team that got out there, every team that had done what had never been done before, they all had to break through. They all had to understand that there was this edge. And then they had to challenge the edge. And then they had to break through that invisible line. They all had to do it.
Through that group of incredibly talented people, bumping up against each other, having arguments, having fights sometimes, making some noise, and working together, they polish each other. And they polish the ideas, and what comes out are these really beautiful stones.
There's no other way to get through other than challenging your fears. Because in order for teamwork to be at its highest potential, everyone's got to have something on the line. You have to. Otherwise, you're only partway in. At the end of the day, you're going to need to trust those around you. To fully trust. This is about us. And you can count on me. I think about New Zealand, this country with under 5 million people. And they have the best rugby team in the world, the All Blacks. Consistently the best in the world. Or the Apollo mission, a group of people saying, we hear you, we've got you. And all of our talents are on the line to get you home. That's teamwork. Think about the Beatles. All of that music that we know of theirs, all of it, was made in about 8 years. Just 8 years. They were that incredible as a team. Great teams, I mean, they're not about individuals melting into the team. That's the mistake. People hear about the power of teamwork, and they think it's about losing yourself to the singular goal. They think it's about fully giving in to something bigger than you. You don't lose yourself. Great teammates, they don't lose themselves. They stand up. They say, I'm here. They choose to be in, and they choose to play their unique part. That's how it works. So then what's the breakthrough? What did those teams see to unlock the full power of teamwork? You know, that's the hard part. You can't see the edge. You actually don't know where it is until you cross over and look back and see where it was. That's why it's always easier. I mean, it's always easier to catch up than it is to raise the bar. Because the team that broke through, they marked the line. And now everyone else, they just need to get over that mark. The Patriots, Belichick, Brady, I mean, what they've been doing is so unbelievable because they keep raising the bar. They keep nudging it higher. So even if people catch up, it's too late. You know, Steve Jobs and Apple.
For the first time ever, I'd like to let Macintosh speak for itself.
They were operating in this abyss. I mean, they were out there in this vast unknown. So instead of breaking through, instead of seeing the line, you have to forget the line. It's just another limit. The marker in great teams is never external. Because you're out in this unknown. You're out in this unmapped territory. So instead, the power of teamwork comes from a belief. It comes from a mindset. We can't get satisfied by the breakthroughs. We can celebrate them. We should celebrate them, but we can't be satisfied by the limits. That's what humbles me the most about great teams. That's what humbles me the most about the power of teamwork. Because it's almost like you've got to operate in the darkness, knowing you're lighting the path for everyone else, and still heading out there, still pushing that edge. That's how to unlock the power of teamwork.
To copy at the point. And on the board, take There's the presentation to Wayne Gretzky, the young Edmonton captain.
I realized I was just on mute that whole time. What'd you think? Takeaways. You can just give me one of these and I'll call on you, and then you can unmute yourself. Or I'll call on you. Who's got some takeaways? Nikki, thank you.
I just want to share my favorite quote when Steve Jobs said, working together, you all polish each other. And I think that's so beautiful because everyone has these, sharp edges, but when you work together, you kind of smooth each other out and knock all that down and everyone shines. So that was just kind of my favorite.
Thank you. Who else? Brittany. Go ahead and unmute. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I would just say, I mean, overall, like, this is something that I've talked to you about a lot, even in our interview and so on, like the importance of working as a team, and everybody individually could be so talented, and collectively we could just like not work. And I think it's so important to build each other up. And I think it's so important to like have that passion for yourself, but also like want the people around you to succeed. And I think that that video definitely made that point. I think it's super, super important to support your teammates just as much as you support yourself.
Yeah. Who else? Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Who else has a takeaway? Taylor, what was your takeaway? I have to call on you because your background's so pretty. I like how you did this framing thing so cohesively.
Thanks. I mean, they pretty much said it. I feel like there was like one overall message. So yeah, I don't know if I have anything to add. I agree.
I think I like that the part where he said, they're not really paying attention to what others have done in order for that to be like the benchmark to work toward. They're creating new edges, right? They're creating new waves. And it also doesn't come easy, and it doesn't come without times where people are pushing up against one another, as he mentioned. And so I just think it's exciting that we have a fresh year to begin. There are going to be things, especially just look at, at our product choices, that it's like not everybody may see it the same way, but we want to be able to really land on what is going to be like the future for our salon and what's going to push us past our current limitations. So each meeting, I'll try to find some inspirational videos. I'm actually going to show, if we have time at the end, a video that we invested in on curly hair cutting. And I'll try to show some, I mean, it's too long to show the whole thing, but I'm going to try to show highlights of what I felt was really compelling that we may not have seen or heard before. So hopefully we get to that. So speaking of which, my next topic is our upcoming education. This month we have InnerSense coming. So it's going to be Greg, the owner, along with, I think, two other educators who are a part of InnerSense's team. So we're super jazzed for that. Our big update with that is Anson is placing that order so that we will have the entire line here in time for that class, just so that you all have actually the products in front of you. It's interesting because I've never had a chance to even work with any of the products, really even to see what they all are. But what I love about their website is they actually have that quiz, I believe, as well as the Kevin Murphy quiz to help you figure out which products are going to be good for you. And they also they kind of add their their Instagram to the bottom of their website. And I just clearly see like the performance is going to be there, and it's very, very clean. So for any of you who would be bummed about parting ways with Surface specifically because of the clean factor, I want to encourage you that I believe InnerSense is going to probably be even more clean. I know that Taylor's really, dove into the ingredient part of it. I've not had a chance to. I see that they're able to call themselves organic. I don't know many lines who are able to call themselves an organic entire line. So I'm all about that. I think it's great. And I actually love that it's a simple. There's 20 SKUs to the line. And we really want to be able to provide the right products for curls without there being any potential sacrifice. And the sacrifice may not even be, what could this do to maybe harm my scalp or hair, but also we're sacrificing the potential, I guess, reputation they have. We have some of those times, and maybe some of you have experienced this with guests who've sat in your chair who say, I don't want you to use Diva Curl. So being a curl salon to serve our curl community, we want a product line that there's none of that, that it's all positive and it's going to be great. So my vision, as I've shared, I think mostly individually with each of you, if not with a few of you at a time when we're together at the salon, is I really want a line that's clean and pure and curly and high performance. Well, how do we figure that out? I've not found one line who can serve all that. There is no one line that I've seen out there that's high performance, very clean, and can serve our curl community. But right now, it's not working for all three. We all agree. We had the opportunity to post our pros and cons in our board where we were comparing Surface to Kevin Murphy. I wish in hindsight I would have included InnerSense in that, but we haven't really had the whole line here to play with. But that is where we're landing. Kevin Murphy will be our high performance line to do all the things that we need for styling. And InnerSense is going to be our clean and curl friendly line. We may find that there are going to be Kevin Murphy products that very well could work for textured hair, but that's where we're landing. So my big update is that we are going to give guests the notification, which I'll work with Samantha on this, that we will no longer have KMS, Diva Curl, or Surface on our shelves after the 22nd of the month. So that last week of this month, you're going to come in and it's going to be boom, beautiful, all Kevin Murphy and InnerSense. So Anson is working to get the SKUs into Rosie and to get everything ready on that end. So we're going to maybe run some promotions. We haven't even gotten there yet because there's like 3 different promotions right now that Samantha and I are working on promoting, which we'll get to. But that's my update for you. Education regarding Kevin Murphy is I appreciate just feedback on saying, hey, that Mark Clayton, who is Kevin Murphy's educator, was one of the best apparently that y'all have seen through Zoom in the way he did things. I really love that he set up mannequins and said, here's what I'm grabbing to use on this scenario versus that. So I went to them and said, we need another class like that. So they worked really hard they first told me we can't get anything till April. Well, now we're going to have them coming March 8th. So I sent a calendar invite already to you. That is eventually going to have the link in it. Once I get the link for that video event, I'll share it with you, but it's going to be just the styling session. Okay. So it's mannequins. What do I use to grab for which scenarios? I know there's a few of you signed up the very next Monday for Kevin Murphy's wedding stylist with Sarah Lund. I want y'all to keep an eye out or look up Sarah Lund, L-U-N-D, with Kevin Murphy, because she's incredible with styling. And she's also the one who's a part of like a fashion week. And she goes to Australia and does a ton with runway work. And I think that you'll be thrilled to just see how awesome she is. So if anybody else, even though you may not be specifically a bridal stylist, but it doesn't matter. If you want to be a part of that class, let me know. That is Monday, March 15th. So let me summarize. Monday, February 22nd, we got InnerSense. That's an all day, 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. The owner of InnerSense is providing lunch for us. I don't have details on what that looks like. Please, let me know if you have any food sensitivities or allergies that you'd want me to make sure they know about. And that's on the 22nd. March 8th is our team meeting at 10 a.m. Right after that is going to be the Kevin Murphy Styling Look and Learn. They told me to plan for 75 minutes. It'll be an hour class, but with Q&A, it may go over a little. And then of course, on the 15th of March is that wedding stylist. My goal, Nikki and I talk about, is we want to have an education opportunity every month, but we don't want to have more than 2 commitments on Mondays in each month. Does that make sense? So I'm trying to work with vendors to say, can we piggyback any education we have with our Monday meeting, if at all possible? Sometimes it won't be possible if it's an event that they already have planned, like the wedding event is already set for the 15th, and we are like, oh, we want in on that. Questions about that before we move on? Go ahead, Nikki.
Is there a cost for the class on the 15th, the wedding class?
Normally, but they are gifting us with tickets.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I for sure want to get in on that then.
Yep. Okay. I think I
Yeah.
have that, but I'll make sure that you're a part of that.
Awesome. Okay. I couldn't remember if I told you. Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. Any other questions on that? Okay, so one of the things I have, speaking of education, there's so much that I post about, and I'm trying to drip it out so you don't have, 12 things in Asana that are new every time you come to work. So I'm trying to do 1 or 2 things, sometimes 3 a day. I'm trying to be mindful of that. But here's what I need from you. Can you please give the posts a thumbs up so I know that you know? And I know that we used to put that in the Asana post, hey, put a thumbs up to this so we know, but I haven't done that. I'm assuming everybody is staying up on it. But please start putting a thumbs up so I just know, like, what's going on with what we put in Asana. Can we all give me a thumbs up right now that we got that? We're good? Thank you. Okay, next thing on education is this curly class that we found on the Behind the Chair channel. And there's part of it that I think is cool just because of the little tidbits you learn about why they use 6-inch versus 7-inch tools, parts of consultation. I feel like I sat and took notes on this class that I don't even do hair anymore, but I want to try to put myself in the shoes of being a hairstylist. What is life like behind the chair right now? What would I need to do to be very successful if I were behind the chair? And I think, to me, education is everything, not just learning and committing to setting aside time every week or every other week to learn, but then to take and apply. And I'm like, I really want to start building up our portfolio of online classes that we could play anytime at the salon. So Anson is working to bring one of our 40-inch TVs that we've used for Meet Your Stylist events, and then get one of those, rolling stands so you can wheel it out and we can set up one of our classes. So far we only have, like, as a company, we have 1 curly class, but I just posted that class last week about the girl, April. She's the Curl Whisperer, and that is a little bit more of an investment. It's $150. But if we can, as a company, purchase that and get access to that class, that would be awesome benefit for everybody. And she, that looked incredible. She's out of a brand called Left Brain Group that's out of New Orleans. So I thought that looked really great. And then I wanted to share, because I thought, I was just talking to a stylist about Bob's. So let me share this screen. This class is actually today. So this is Chris Jones _hair. I don't know if anybody's following him, but check out some of his work that he's done. It's incredible. It's only $20. It's a 4 p.m. Central Time today. It's a 90-minute class with Q&A. I think that's awesome if you can, like a lot of these classes you purchase and you just watch, but if you can ever do these live events, I think this is cool because you actually can ask him things and build those, you know, relationships with these educators. And they're always going to give favor to those who are investing in them and their classes. So even to connect with them ongoing, just to put out questions, I think would be really cool. But be willing to put yourself out there and take advantage of some of these opportunities. Why I'm bringing it up, the TV stand and the wheels and all that, is because I want you to remember that Mondays we are not open for guests, so that we can be available for in-salon education. Remember, it could be a hair day for you if you want to schedule hair days with team members. We're always willing to have that salon available for you on Monday. So just be mindful if you're like, you know what, I need to be in the salon, set up with a mannequin with all the things around me in the salon to really focus and do a class that's in front of me. Please take advantage of the salon area and do that. I actually kind of like the online class because when I was watching that curly class, I would stop, rewind, rewatch. How did he say that? What exactly did he mean? And I think that's kind of cool. Questions or thoughts or questions on that? Okay. We are not going to make any final decisions on the clay lightener until March, but we want to know by March, like where we want to land as a team. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to use Kevin Murphy clay lightener. I got a little feedback that it tends to be, no, like it doesn't thicken maybe as much, but I guess let's give it, you know, as long as we got the product in to try it, let's use it up and get an idea of what the best, I guess, clay lightener choice is going to be for us. Anybody? Yeah, go ahead, Taylor.
Could we get 40 volume to use with it? Because if you're doing open air, you need like the higher developer to get it to process. I used 30 volume and it was okay, but I left it on like longer and it just wasn't quite as bright as I needed it.
Yeah, Dion said that he would bring us developers to use with it because that's what they recommend. But he told me that you can use any brand's developers, which I think is similar to pulp, or I don't know if, you know, or if the rule is you really can do that with any line. So try that and then like let us know. But I'm going to defer to Anson because he wants to get everybody's feedback on some supplies and inventory, I believe. Go ahead, Anson.
Hey, so I've gone through and readjusted all the targets specifically for the Goldwell color and all that stuff on the back bar. I haven't noticed any issues thus far, but if you're seeing shortages or something that you feel is riding too close to the edge in terms of not having a certain color, please let me know. I've been trying to order every day on Mondays, so stuff will be here Wednesday or Thursday-ish, and then that allows for a quick run to the local store if needed. And then the other thing is if you need any tools or anything, again, just post an Asana in that purchase request group or project, and then I can go ahead and get those ordered or go out and grab stuff if there's an immediate need. Just make sure you let me know if you need it right away or if this is something that I can just put on the next order. Other than that, does anybody have any feedback? I've been trying to keep up on the reverse inventory to keep inventory as tight as possible. So thank you for putting stuff in. It's been very helpful to make sure inventory works as it should, and it's been pretty clean from what I've taken out of there. Demi, I saw you had a question.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think color and inventory has been really, really good lately. Like, I haven't had any issues with like running out of color. Like, everything's been in stock, and I think all the girls are kind of saying that too. So we really appreciate you being on top of everything.
Let's
Thank
give
you.
it
I do appreciate it.
applause.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, just don't hesitate to reach out. A couple other notes. Thank you for the time off requests. Getting those in sooner than later makes it much easier on myself and the other fit crew to get that on the calendar and not have to move around a bunch of appointments. So thank you for doing that. Other than that, just reach out if you need anything. Taylor.
So I know in the past, like if we ran out of like a paper towel, or like some other supplies that doesn't go in like the stylist inventory bin, that we would put it in another one. Are we still doing that? Or like if we like replace a paper towel and we realize they're going down, do we need to do anything?
No, we're not treating that because it's hard to reverse inventory commodities like that. So what I've been doing is I've been just once or twice a week, I go back into the back room and just check how many items we have of each, and then I'll just keep it stocked based on that. But obviously do create a ticket in the purchasing request if there's something you see that's low that we're not going to make it another day or so. So that's the way we've been doing that. I noticed we had all that inventory in Rosie at some point, but it didn't work out that way because it's too hard to track. I mean, it's just the nature of those products. So eventually I'm going to label the back room and have like a target saying, hey, if this gets down to 1 or 2, then we need to take action and order that item. But at this point, I'm just going back there and looking at it each week and making sure, hey, we got what we need. So that's all I can think of at the moment.
Thank you, Anson.
You're welcome.
On to marketing. A lot going on right now. Valentine's. Please consider encouraging your guests to purchase gift cards. This is the first year that we haven't given something to them in order for them to get it. The pain point for the company is we've done a lot of giveaways with the turnover we've had, or just the gaps with people being nervous to come out and do business. So anytime we do that, if we do like, get $50 when you buy a $100 gift card, where does that $50 come from? We are essentially, it's kind of the rule of like, don't rob Peter to pay Paul. Anson and I have been incredible savers for the salon company, but it's also been like at a point where we really we don't have the capacity. We're working hard to see what we can do with some of the second rounds of stimulus. And I will share with you that we do have a couple goals. We want to get new, fresh paint in the salon. Now that we're like 3 years old, I see that that's a need. And then we also are working to get a new makeup station. So I've been working with Demi and Britt on what that looks like. But essentially, it's going to be a white cabinet, tall with drawers. And so in the drawers would be like really cool, what do you call it? Storage. You know how that's organizational little pieces. So that the struggle with our current makeup stand is that nothing fits in the actual little spots that it was originally built for. And it makes it hard to track where everything is too, because we're kind of putting stuff somewhere since it doesn't fit where it's supposed to. Let's put it here. So we just really want to clean that up and make it look really sleek. We may have to have that custom built because we still want it to be pretty identical to the size and shape that it already is. and we want to be able to put it on wheels because that's been convenient. So stay tuned, but those are areas of investment. Why I'm kind of backing that into helping with gift card sales, because that is an incentive, you know, to help with cash flow for the salon. And not all gift cards are redeemed. So while many more are redeemed now, it used to be that 30% are not redeemed. And that may have been changing with COVID times, but it is helpful for us. Also, gift cards are great gifts. It's fun. It's a fun gift to have people get for their loved ones. So that's what I wanted to share. So please help us with that. Also, please be voting for us. It's kind of hard to run 2 campaigns at the same time because both Wisconsin Bride magazine and Best of Madison have a nomination round going on right now at the same time. That's just to get on the ballot. And then we have to ask everybody to vote again for the same things, which is kind of a lot. So I would just ask that you would please vote for us and that you would ask your guests to vote for us. We are giving away VIP memberships. So we're going to pick 2 winners. If they vote for us for both Best of Madison and Wisconsin Bride, they get entered twice. They have 2 chances to win one of the 2 VIP memberships. Questions on that? Samantha, yeah, please.
And something I'll just say with that too, I do think if you guys can talk about it with your guests when you have them in the chair, like I think almost just having someone in person explain why there's 2 or, you know, what that means and why we're still asking people to vote for both. I think that just really helps, you know, people understand it and also actually encourages them to do it. Cause you know, we're sending out all these emails, but it can kind of feel like information overload because we are asking them to do a couple of things. So I think if you have them in the chair and you can bring it up, I think that just makes it sound a lot more simple.
Your graphics have been amazing today, Samantha. And I want to congratulate you because I'm helping reception today because Danielle will be working Saturday because Kara's out of town for a family wedding. So I got a call today and a gal is looking for, she says, I follow your salon on Instagram, and had raving reviews about our social media and said that there was a post you put out about curly and that's why she was calling in. So
Nice.
she just booked an advanced color and curly haircut this morning.
Cool.
Yes. You know, so it's working. And people reach out to Samantha all the time. They'll send her photos. Here's what I want to look like.
All the time. Yeah.
And Samantha's been really great about just being responsive. And I just appreciate you.
Thank you.
All you do. She makes things look so beautiful. Hey, did everybody read that blog that just that we put out about the different curl types? Everybody see that? That was in Asana. Let's give it up for Samantha. She wrote that. Yes. Thank you for doing that because I really want that to become something we all adopt and are knowledgeable about and are able to talk with guests about it, because they're becoming more and more educated and taking ownership in their own hair care and styling, and they're learning, and we want to be ahead of the curve and be able to do that for them. I found this quote. You know, I feel like, man, are we still the best of Madison? You better believe it. We did not win Best of Madison for years, and I still thought we're awesome. So I wanted to read you this quote that I found. For those of you who like to read, this is from Seth Godin's book called The Purple Cow. And it's called Transform Your Business by Being Remarkable. So the book is called Purple Cow, and here's his quote. If you're remarkable, it's likely that some people won't like you. Ouch. That's part of the definition of remarkable. Nobody gets unanimous praise ever. The best the timid can hope for is to be unnoticed. Criticism comes to those who stand out. I'll put that quote in Asana for us. but let's have the courage to stand out, even though we may be criticized and maybe not everybody's going to like us. We can have the courage. Moving right along. What time is it? 20 minutes to go. Okay. So reminders, I already brought up that Monday, keep in mind it could be a great hair day. So go ahead and coordinate it. Just shoot Anson and myself a text. We're going to be there. Danielle is there most Mondays from 8:30 to 12:30. So that's always available. Here's a question that I want people to participate in. Just go ahead and raise your hand. I want to be on top of us as a team. I mean, that's really the overarching theme of how we started today. How do we help each other and even ourselves during any downtime that we have at the salon? I'm 100% cool with people having to go run an errand quick or grab lunch or food, but we have got to be in the salon when we're scheduled to be in the salon. And so I would like to put the question out there and just get everybody's feedback of truly what's needed or just ideas in general. How can we fill our downtime at the salon? Kiana.
Emailing clients, catching up on, if like no one else needs help and the utility room is doing okay. Like doing your haven't seen you in a while emails or checking up on their style, whatever, connecting with people.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Yes, Demi.
You can always pull out a mannequin and work on either bridal stuff, or if you want to try out like a balayage, if you need to work on something, that's a great way to fill up your time too.
I love that idea, and that's kind of piggybacked with our goal of bringing in a TV on wheels. Where should we put that? Like if we're actually open during business hours, like where would be the most reasonable place to set that up so that you could pull out a stand and mannequin work? Where do you think? Like makeup area, like up there in those stations? Abby.
For that, I'd probably say just grab an iPad and put it on a station so that we wouldn't need a whole TV if it's just one person.
Hey, raise your hand. You guys have earbuds? No, yes, some. Okay. I think it's great. I'm not the best mother in the world, so sometimes I'll have my earbuds in with my own iPad going while he's doing something else, so he can't hear grown-up stuff that I watch. But yeah, I like that, because then you can then you don't have to necessarily turn it way up to see or hear what's going on. That's a great suggestion. That's a good suggestion, because you can pair earbuds with any iPad. Yeah. Okay. What else? How else can we be filling our downtime?
Cleaning.
What needs the most attention usually? I mean, is it the utility sink?
Well, right now the salt is just fries the floors. But I think, I don't know if we get rushed sometimes, but I'll go to grab a color bowl and there's like color sitting in it. So I don't know who washes it or then puts it back, but I don't want to use that for my color. So I've just seen that in a few places, but just taking more time to like clean stuff out.
Okay. I'm just watching chats here. Okay. What else? I would say check in with Danielle. On like anything that could be done. I think it's going pretty good, and I don't want to, and Anson, I don't know if you have thoughts on that, but I feel like we've done better. We're doing good. Let's not have judgments of who we think does or doesn't do a good job of cleaning, who does or doesn't help out mostly. Let's start fresh right now. And let's just all make the commitment that we're going to really focus on the needs of our team members, the salon, and our own education, and take advantage of downtimes are a bummer. I would also recommend this. I shared with Kayla in her orientation, if you have days with gaps, you know, be at the salon 15 minutes early to check your Rosie on who's coming in and when's the last time they've bought product. Have they ever bought product? Have they ever tried color before? Have they ever had a treatment? Maybe they're coming in for color, but maybe today is the opportunity to clean up their haircut. I mean, just setting goals of and targets and visualizing like how you can make your day expand with new opportunities is a good thing. So really having strategy behind every day, because the number one goal on our side of the fence, I'll tell you right now, is I want everybody to be very busy, which leads me to a fun announcement. I won't name names, but I have a stylist in the last payroll period who, for the first time ever, or with commission, this is after commission, their commission, they earn over $50 an hour. Can we give it up? We don't know who, but it's a good thing. I mean, the potential is huge. And what I think is exciting about that is we're not even double booking the way we used to. So to be able to have that, I think is awesome. Another big congrats that we're going to clap for is our current top retailers are Demi, Taylor, and Kiana. Let's give it up. Nice work, ladies. It's exciting. We'll dive into more Kevin Murphy and of course InnerSense. Like, I'm excited for InnerSense because I don't know a thing about any of their products. So I'm excited just to learn and be able to promote that. And there's something exciting even from Samantha and I when we would talk. There wasn't the same level of like excitement to necessarily even promote products on our social media. And I feel like a new level of like inspiration, like we should have every however many posts, every third or fifth post or whatever it is, be about the products that we offer. How many of you, by a raise of hands, have seen our Kevin Murphy, like our own online shopping portal? Has everybody had a chance to see that? Okay, I see some faces like I haven't seen it. So don't worry, I see you. I'll show you. I really like that they put it right up on the main part of the, so when I first showed you, let me see if I can show this. Okay, so when I first showed you this, it was, and it still is, under the service drop down, but we want quick link access for guests. So we have shop products right here now. Next to book now, we have shop products. So when we click on that, it takes guests to our own salon shopping page. So if they use this 10 off code when they go to check out, if their purchase is over 50, their first order, they get a special price on everything. Anytime guests come here to buy products over $75 of their order, it's free shipping. Otherwise, shipping is only $4.95. That's less than we charge. Like if we ever ship something locally, we charge a flat rate of $7. So that's nice. What I like is you can shop by category. What's really cool is we get a notification every time a guest purchases online, and Anson's running payroll this week. And those of you who have guests who have purchased, they select your name. When they go to checkout, it says who. So we have a dashboard that we will add every new style. Every single person, including Kayla, is in there and is already going to earn the same amount of commission. There's no less even, which is cool. There is no lesser for online commissions on this. So for you, the perk is you can really provide the best customer service for guests in between. So as Kiana had mentioned, if you have downtime and your next level in the way you monitor your guests' needs, so not just services, but products, you can send them, hey, here, did you know, like in between appointments, if you want to grab that right online, it'll ship to you directly from our distributor. So we don't have to go and get it into the salon and then call them and they got to make a trip in and we got the bag ready for them. We eliminate all those steps. So it just makes it really easy for every single person involved. Any questions on that?
Hey, Katie, they can do subscriptions too, right?
Yeah, so if you have, like, if you're like, I freaking love whatever, the puff thing. I have a client that just saw, I think it was Demi, said, I love that puff, whatever it is. You could say, you know, if you want one of those to show up at your house every 4, 6, or 8 weeks, it'll automatically ship to you, which is really pretty phenomenal for it being a local distributorship. They're not one of the big Cosmocross or Salon Centric, but they are the largest solo distributor in the US. So I think they're doing all the right things. And I want to be a part of that progression. Really quick, before I want to show you a couple clips of this curly video. Closings. Anson is more on top of this than I am in regard to like monitoring the hour by hour weather and what it means. But we typically don't close the salon unless there's a severe weather warning. Warning is different than advisory. That warning, we will keep a lookout on an hourly basis. Like an example of last week, it was safer to stay until close than to drive during the afternoon when it was the heaviest snowfall. So we're going to try to keep an eye on all of that for you. But typically we will not close the salon unless the buses close, the malls would close, and schools would close. Now, obviously, we're not really looking at schools because they're in a totally different model right now. But we will keep a lookout. It was like 2 years ago, we closed when it was a -50 with wind chill. Like, that's crazy. So yes, if it's like that and it's not necessarily snow blizzard, if it's ridiculously cold like that, we would close. So we'll just keep a lookout for things and obviously provide grace to guests who, due to weather, aren't comfortable or scared to drive. Questions on that? Okay, before we do the video, let me show you. Good Lord. Okay, Anson is going to help put together a new online Google form for anybody that has, who calls or emails about something they need fixed with their hair. So if you have a correction, call in. We don't want this to be the norm, but one of our recent experiences, and I get it, is it's hard as a stylist and an artist to not take it personally. And it's also hard when you feel like there's some sort of disconnect in what you thought happened in your communications of the expectation in that appointment versus what the client perceives to be the truth, right? So we all agree typically, and if you look up anything in our industry on where do correction appointments go wrong in the first place, it's usually that consultation. So if a guest calls in or emails like, hey, I need this fixed or whatever it is, we're going to create this link that they fill out. They put their name and email and phone number. They're going to put, you know, the stylist who provided their recent services, the date they came in for that, what services they received. Then we put specifically this verbiage of sharing their feedback, questions, and or concerns. We don't necessarily want to assume that this guest is super ticked off. Maybe it's feedback of somebody who loves you. Maybe you have a guest who is very loyal, who comes in all the time, and they're like, hey, I feel like this one little thing is off. You know, this gives them the opportunity to put in any feedback. It doesn't have to necessarily be negative, but really it could be a question that we can address. Then I had great feedback to separate our photo uploads from just being one section to having it say, please upload your current photos of yourself. You know, we could put front, side, back view, and then please upload the, you know, goal photo that you had. So speaking of goal photos, I just want to encourage you, if a guest comes in and they show you a photo of something that is literally not going to happen for them today, this is not going to be pulled off in one visit or even today, please try to find, to the best of your ability, another visual of some sort to show them, here's where we can land today. There is in Rosie the ability to upload a photo into profiles. So you can even say, here's the guest's current photo, here's the guest inspo photo. Today we agreed on this photo as the first step of the process. You could even be on an company iPad and show them that, yep, I agree, this is great, so that it's very clear where they're not going to head today. You got a plan though. And today we're going to head in this direction. I don't know if that's going to be helpful for every single situation you're in, but I at least wanted to bring that up. And then, are you open to having your stylist who provided the services make the appropriate corrections? Yes or not at this time? And if not, which stylist are you seeking for the appropriate corrections? We have a little disclaimer, you know, for them to try and meet your stylist. That would help expedite the process for guest services. Again, we don't want anybody to take things personally, but if a guest doesn't have a preference, if they're not matched with another stylist that could be a great fit, you know what, then it is going to be our recommendation. And then for some of the red is what I communicate with Anson. But anyway, then they put in their availability so we can know what in the next few days, what works best for them. Tuesday or Wednesday, or you know what I mean, whatever they'll put in, and then they'll tell us when they're available. Any additional comments, then they'll submit. And then I told Anson what needs to be shown after they submit. Any questions on that? Everybody good with this? I still don't have a solution for if they put, I don't want to see anybody. You know, we'll have to cross those bridges when we get to it, but we're trying to make things more automated and simple as possible. Okay, last thing, we have like 3 minutes. So I'm going to try to show you the beginning of this. Just to give you an idea of, I feel like he's going at this a different way. He's doing top down cutting instead of bottom up.
And here.
Can you hear it?
Is my client, but I have not seen her in over 3 years. So this is what it looks like when one of my haircuts is 3 years old. So what we're gonna do with Amanda today, because it has been a very long time since she's had her haircut, is we are going to go in and create a new base, which I will explain to you guys, or frame for our haircut. As you can see, it's been a long time, so we're gonna take some length off. And then I'm going to show you guys how to go in and create some amazing layers, starting from the top rather than starting from the bottom, so that we can remove weight and control what the bottom's going to look like as we're cutting. So let's go ahead and get to it. I am going to go ahead and get her parted off. So let me grab some clips here. So I always start a curl cut by creating a frame. So that's all the hair around the face and around the base. We want to determine that length, clean it up, and then that gives us a base to start from. The reason that I like to do that is because curly hair needs to be able to move, but we want it to move within a shape that we've created, and we want to have control over that. So we're gonna go ahead and start in the front here and part this off. I always take my partings in the shape that I'm creating. So if you look from the side here, and remember, when you're working with curly hair, you don't need to go in and rip it apart, okay? So we're just gonna go in, we're gonna create a nice angle around her face, so the line of our part is going to mimic that. When you guys are cutting curly hair, you want to make sure you're using a really sharp shear. Most importantly, I don't want you to be scared of this. I know it's different than what you're used to, but it really makes sense to cut curly hair this way, especially if this is the way she's wearing her hair. To go in and straighten all of her hair, blow it out, or cut it wet, we just really don't know what's gonna happen. For example, if I was to take this curl right here and stretch it all the way down and cut it, we think we're leaving her hair long, it's going to spring up significantly. Every curl in her head's different, so it's going to create a lot of unevenness. So let's get to cutting. A lot of curly girls struggle with weight around their face. So the only way to open that up is to create an angle. So we're gonna go right in. We agreed that we would take hers right about just below the apple of the cheek. When you're choosing lengths on curly hair, it can be helpful to pay attention to where the C patterns are and to try to cut in the middle of those so you're not disrupting the curl pattern.
Okay, so it's a total teaser. It's a total teaser, but things that I took away is he does the top down and then versus bottom up. He starts with face framing. He said that the majority of face shapes, face framing is very flattering for almost everybody. And I mean, I'm sure you've heard of this, but cutting into the C pattern, has everybody heard of that? Or not, maybe not. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I don't know if you saw the before or after of the like final, but here's what I'll say just to be mindful of everybody's time today. Send me an Asana if you want Anson to give you last pass access to this video. So if you want to watch the whole thing, it is an hour and a half. I know Nikki will be taking Kayla through it. But anybody who would like to also go through this on your own, please let us know and we can get you access to that. But it's good. It moves at a slower pace, so I don't have time to go through all of it today. But anything else before we end for today? Okay. Well, I'm glad to see all of you. Have a great week. Stay warm, and I'll see you at the salon later this week. Thank you.